Welcome to Rugby AM here on Free Sports, and I'm back again, and he's back. Jamie Jones Buchanan. You got collared last week, mate. You got collared and you couldn't make it.
Mate, I couldn't make it, but it was a great show, mate. Enjoyed watching.
One real low point this weekend, a real tragedy. Went down to Milford on Saturday to see Dewsbury Moor versus Milford, and Milford big win, 56 points to 6. But I noticed that their star player last time I played him, the hooker, wasn't playing. I said to Christian Floyd, to Bubbles and Danny Moore, I said, "Oh, where's the young hooker?" He said, "Oh, Danny Moore over at Moon is been signed up by Batley, been pushing it all year." A kid called Archie Bruce, excellent player, great lad, 20-year-old. Sadly lost his life after making his debut against Toulouse. Was found in the morning, obviously unconscious in his room, and passed away. So I think everyone from Rugby AM, our hearts go out to everyone at Dewsbury Moor and Batley, but it's just an awful tragedy. Local lad to you as well.
Yeah, awful news. Obviously, all of us here are fathers ourselves, and you know, the thought of it is devastating. So, thoughts to his family, and Dewsbury Moor's a great club. Yeah. So hopefully they'll rally around his family and do what they can, and raise whatever funds for any sort of charity or things they want to get involved with. The
RFL Benevolent Fund have set up a Just Giving page, and there's plenty of people putting some money in there. The details on the screen, if you can give whatever you can to help with, obviously, the funeral costs. I'm assuming all the money's going to go towards that and Archie's family. So thinking of you, and hopefully you guys can get through this at this time. Are you sleeping well after last night's result?
Sleeping a little bit better. Yeah, big win for us. A lot of pressure on that game, but I thought the boys really performed, and I thought great performance.
I don't want to drop you in it, but you said just off air a few minutes ago you've been sleepwalking a little bit, so stress must have got to you the last few weeks. You've been
I sleepwalk all the time, Jones. Yeah, I love it. I've woke up outside.
Really?
Yeah, Eddie Gardner's wedding, actually. This is a pretty good story. Eddie Gardner's wedding, me, Foz and Leon shared a room, so we're tight. So I got in this double bed together, and I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. The fire alarm goes off at middle at night, and I look round and go, "Where's Gilly?" Anyway, it's Gilly. So I've slept walked out of the building into the pool block, and I'm walking around the pool area, the leisure centre, and I kind of half come round, and I don't know where I am, and I'm panicking, and I can't get out. So I've just hit fire alarm for somebody to come and get me. And then I'm still half asleep, so I'm walking out, somebody comes and gets me, I'm walking out, and there's tribes of old women, young children are crying, the whole hotel has been evacuated in the middle of the night because of me. And I just walk out with my trousers on, no shirt top on.
Good grief.
And it cost me 140 quid to charge me.
What for?
For new glass.
Right,
yeah. I don't think they believed me that I was sleepwalking. They thought I was just
messing about.
But I said no, I was sleepwalking.
Good grief.
Gilly, if Warrington lose this weekend Challenge Cup, is their season over?
I don't think so. I think you'd think they've too much quality. They've a lot of internationals in the team.
With your coaching hat on, Gilly, what do they need to do, Warrington, to upset Sage? We've seen Halifax, and I think everybody's entertained by that Halifax semi-final there. There were a lot of Hull fans who stayed behind. They started calling them Halifax, an adopted championship side. And for a while they upset Saints because it wasn't the normal flow of the game, was it?
Yeah.
Warrington have to do something different, don't they?
You've got to get in the face, I think. I think it's the best thing about Saints, and they've always played the same style of football. When they get on the front foot, they're just electric out there. So the halves have got time on the ball. You've got to win the first 2 or 3 rucks. With Warrington, they're a physical side out there. Yeah. So they've lost a couple of key halfbacks, but that physical side of the game should still be there for them. So I think if they can get a complete eye, you've got a complete eye in big games, build your defensive set on the back of the first 3 players and just put the pressure on the half. So when they play out the back, they ain't got time on the ball. And depending on if Lowton Coote's playing or not, that could be a huge loss because he's class out the back.
Boys, it's time now to talk War of the Roses because we are a week away from a big game, and I feel like, personally, this is the best we've ever done. I just wanted to give a quick 30-second why people should come down and see the War of the Roses game.
I'll give you a couple of really big reasons in my eyes. I still believe, and Gilly, I don't know your thoughts on this, that Yorkshire, Lancashire, the War of the Roses, in whatever format, is the key to expanding rugby league. We've already seen it as a model in Australia, and I understand there's a lot of variables such as how many fixtures and who can play and who qualifies. We need to work through that with a fine-tooth comb, right? Get that on within the season fixtures, whether it be just start off with a 1 and it builds over years and ends up like a 3-game series like it is in an RL, because identity in sport is number 1, it's key. And I think we've got a stronger brand because the War of the Roses is real.
Yeah, it's
a real historic fact. Goes right back to 1400s, 100 Years' War, right through Plantagenet Kings until Henry Tudor, essentially, when they all got knocked on and then they joined the 2 roses. The Tudor rose is a combination of the white and red rose within each other. So they joined back together, families. We've got to get that narrative running through Rugby League. We've got to get over the barriers of whinging about where it is and what time it's on and everything else that goes along sometimes when we all want things to be really easy. We might talk about Bradford a little bit later. I've got a few ideas about that. The second thing as well is if you like what we do and you like Rugby AM, this is a Rugby AM event, right? And I know we're talking about it's a big celebration for me. I'm really excited about it because I played 20 years, same with Gilly as well, and his services to Rugby League. It's great to be able to celebrate that with a super event. But if you want to support Rugby AM now and going into the future, and you want us to carry on into 2020 and 21 and keep growing, then the best thing you can do is go and support us at the War of the Roses match, 28th of August at Henley Emerald Stadium. It's going to be a great game. As Alex has already mentioned, he's absolutely smashed it with the people that are going to come and play and represent Yorkshire and Lancashire, so there's no reason not to be there.
Gilly,
Yep.
you never got a chance to have a testimonial. You got granted a testimonial.
Yep.
We won't go into it because we don't want to sound bitter.
Yeah.
And it must be nice for you and your kids, because do your kids remember you playing?
Maybe a little bit, probably not too much. My daughter a little bit more than my son.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I worked, obviously, I got the testimonial granted whilst we were at Castleford and things didn't really work out there. Then I moved on to Wakefield, so I've had this testimonial granted for probably about 5 years and not really known what to do with it. So I've decided this year with you guys giving me the game through Rugby AM that it'd be a good year to get it done this year. And yeah, I mean I ain't got too much. I'm not too bothered about my body really. I'm happy to. It's pretty broken. Left knee's in a bit of a mess. Right shoulder's gone, but just get out there, get stuck in, and enjoy it. It's the last time we played, we're at 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And you forget how much you missed that. That were a right buzz. And
how did it feel? 'Cause obviously I didn't play, and it's like, how did it feel to walk out? I know it feels to walk out on stage in front of 10,000 people, but when you're walking out Headingley, and we've sold all the South stands, so South stand is going to be the big stand, and then obviously you've got your corporate in your extension, but you're going to be walking out from the side of the South stand, so there's tunnel, the changing rooms in there, you walk in front of the South stand. How will it feel, that buzz?
Well, I always liked playing at Headingley. Always liked it. Great stadium, always brilliant atmosphere, pitch is always immaculate. But it just, the buzz, you forget that buzz you got, when you played. And I still miss it now. I think, Jonesy, when you finally hang the boots up, you'll have moments where you'll miss that, and I miss that competing.
Right, it's going to be epic. One man who is playing, and I think he's the big coup, is Jason Robinson, and this is what he had to say about the game.
Yeah, I'm massively excited to be playing for Yorkshire. It's going to be the first time ever in my career I've played for Yorkshire, so yeah, really looking forward. It's going to be tough, always playing against the Lancastrians. It is a War of the Roses, so I'm sure there'll be a few old scores to settle. But yeah, it's going to be great. Obviously, it's Jamie Jones-Buchanan's testimonial and Lee Gilmour, so I played with and against both of those guys, well respected within the game. Jamie, just stalwart for Leeds, 20 years is unbelievable. So a great shift from him, and it's just good to be able to do my bit. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. I'm getting on. It's going to be really exciting. There's a few old boys there. Just looking at Barry McDermott, Stuart Field, and there's always no love lost between those two. So, I think you're going to expect a little bit of fire from them. And yeah, sort of, me against Martin. Back in the day, two of the quickest wingers. Hopefully, we'll be able to rekindle some of that youth and some of that speed. But hopefully, there's going to be lots of people that get down there and support it. I know the players are looking forward to it. Certainly in full support of Jamie and Lee Gilmour. So yeah, it should be a cracking night.
Right, big news this week, and it is a story that broke. And I read the press release, and I could not believe what I was reading. Bradford leaving Bradford. It's sad, isn't it?
Mate, there's a lot of history at Ulster, and some of the best rugby league pitches of all time are at Ulster Stadium. They're only talking, I think, there's that Warrington, Halifax.
Yeah.
Cup final reach.
100,000.
Yeah, people
104
on the roof. I know they've migrated at times in the past. Valley Parade, when they played down there for a few years, didn't they?
Yeah.
When they tried to redevelop it. Now it's tough. I can't control that, and I imagine the Bradford fans would be spewing. I know what I'd be doing if I was in charge of Rugby League now, because this is a bit out there, but I think it'd be a wonderful venue to have like a centre of excellence for England and all the England games, the training camps, the wheelchair rugby, the women's rugby, the England Knights, the England team. Even, and this will fire a few cannons that may shoot me, we've not filled Wembley for a few years now, right, properly. The first 40 years of Rugby League, I believe, the Challenge Cup was held up here before it went down to Wembley.
First one at Headingley, wasn't it?
Might, yeah, that was like the Saints Batley back in 1895 or something like that, 96. Maybe it's time, until we're back within our means, that it comes back up here, and that'd be a great universal neutral venue, right almost in the middle of the M62, to play some of those big representative and international games at.
Water Roses.
Just Water Roses, throw it out there,
Challenge Cup final.
Abuse me, I'm going to get some stick.
This weekend, guys, Challenge Cup finals. Now, you did remind the full fans at Leeds, after I'd rubbished you about losing 3 grand finals on bounce to Leeds, which the fans enjoyed. You did say you were too busy winning Challenge Cup. So what's your best Challenge Cup memory?
Probably 2004. My first year at St Helens. My first time I'd started in a Challenge Cup final, and scored the first try against the arch rivals, Wigan. Got plenty of pats on the back afterwards for people coming up to me saying, "Oh, I won, I won 50 quid on backing you for first try." But the Saints Wigan derby, I think it was the only time I'd ever been to played at a team where the fans said, "I don't care where you finish, don't care what you do, but you beat them, you beat Wigan." Do you know what I mean? So that, we knew what it meant to the fans, and just a great day.
It's time now for a new feature. I really like this, because one thing we've been doing, I've been speaking to so many ex-players, and the interesting thing I was asking was, what are you up to now? But this guy, I've known him for a long time. He used to be a DJ, so I used to know him from the DJ scene. He was a Marine, and now he's a barber, and he also owns a coffee shop. This is Where Are They Now with Jordan James.
Jordan James, obviously played rugby for quite a long time, probably had more clubs than Tiger Woods, but sort of played for Wigan, Salford, Castleford, Widnes, Swinton, Crusaders before they went bump, so yeah, I had quite a few clubs. Now I cut hair for a living, which is a little bit of a change. If someone would have told me 10, 15 years ago that you'll go from being a Marine to playing rugby professionally, and then all of a sudden you're going to be holding a pair of scissors, I would have totally laughed in their faces. But I'm really enjoying it. Got 2 barbershops now and a specialty coffee shop, which is going really well. We're in some couple of good areas in Manchester. We're just trying to grow the businesses as much as we can and enjoying it along the way. So I get my working ethos from my parents, I'd say, especially my mum. With the Marines, I was going to join the army at a young age because I didn't think I'd make the Marines, but she sort of talked me into doing the Marines, and then I passed through that with flying colours. And then same with rugby, really. My dad's always pushed me with rugby. He just sort of said, you can do anything you want, and they've always pushed me and said, look, anything you want to do, you can do it. And that's always stuck with me, really, and I've took that into business now. I've always worked hard. I was never a talented player. I was just a grafter, really, and I'd always give me all on the pitch, but I'd never throw a 20-yard pass or chip and chase or anything like that. I was just there really to run as hard as I could and tackle as much as I could. That was always what I sort of try and base everything around. So yeah, my time in the Marines was brilliant, and I played rugby union growing up, and I played to a decent level, Gloucester Colts and stuff like that, but I just wasn't good enough as a kid, and I never got offered a deal when I got to that 16, 17-year-old sort of stage, and that was when I joined the Marines, and I just think the Marines give me that mental toughness that made me become a rugby player. Getting that green beret sort of made me realise that I could push myself to places where mentally you don't think you can go. I left Iraq in 2003. I signed at Sheffield within a month, played a year at Sheffield, played for Wales literally 2 months after I'd left for Iraq. I don't know how that happened, I just sort of in the right place, right time. Played against Australia, 1 minute I'm on the sandy dunes of Saudi Arabia and Iraq, and next minute I'm playing against Brett Gilmour and people like that. It was just surreal. And then it just sort of escalated from there, really. Like I say, I was never a talented player, but I just gave my all and I tried my hardest and got my chance to play Super League with Wigan, which was 2006, I think, just after I'd been at Castleford. Played a few Super League games at Wigan, then went to Widnes on loan, and then signed at Crusaders, where I played a couple of years at Super League there. And then Salford, obviously, for 2-3 years, and then finished off at Wigan, and then had a nice little end of my career at Swinton, where we managed to get promoted that year. And that was where I finished. That was enough for me. So yeah, I retired probably about 4.5-5 years ago now, and I went into the old added ethos of, I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to stay in rugby. I'm going to be a coach. And coaching just weren't for me, and I thought I was doing myself an injustice by not enjoying the job. But also, I didn't want to take up a spot of someone else's at Wigan who could probably do a better job than me, basically. But I did enjoy the coaching, but it just weren't for me, and I knew I weren't going to do it for the next 20 years. And luckily enough, my wife was, she'd been in hairdressing for sort of 15 years. Her dad was a top hairdresser. And we just sat down and I just said, look, I'm not happy. I don't want to be in rugby anymore. I need a break. And this is where barbering came from, really. And it was quite funny when I was at Salford, they were dishing out these courses that the Rugby League Cares were doing, and one of the courses was barbering. And I sort of said to the lads, I was like, I fancy doing barbering. Everyone themselves at me and just sort of said, oh, you're barber, you can't cut hair for a living, you're Jesse and all that sort of stuff. I was like, just a bit of changing room banter. And I sort of took it to heart a little bit. I thought, I can't do that. And but then when I left, obviously, we got into it, and barbering's really trendy now. It's on the up. I did my course down in London, started cutting hair, and just found that I loved it. We set up our first shop 2.5-3 years ago, after I worked in town for a bit, and then we managed to get this second place, which we always wanted to do, a coffee shop with a barbershop environment. People can come down, they can have decent food. Our coffee is like second to none. We get it from a local roastery and Coates, and it's going from strength to strength. We've got a great area, it's booming, and like I say, then people that did take the piss, they all come and see me for an haircut now. And they all want mates rates as well, the cheeky buggers, which ain't so great, is it? So Benny Flower comes in, Gil Dodson, Mickey Mack's a good favourite of mine. He's very picky, standard Leeds lad. Jackson Hastings, he's very conscious of his hair, even though he had the worst mullet I've ever seen in my life. And it's nice to be able to catch up with a lot of old mates, lads that I used to play against used to beat me up, and lads I used to beat up. So it's always it's a good laugh when you see them all. And as much as like warriors you are on the pitch, you're all mates off the pitch, which is always great for rugby, and that's what I always thrived off, really. If I had my time again now, where I'd signed, say when I was 16 or something like that, 100% get a trade from the off, whether it's a manual trade, whether you're going to a sort of apprenticeship where you can get a day out here and there from training, speak to the Rugby League Cares people, speak to your welfare officers at your clubs, get some stuff in motion around the early 20s and have an idea of what you want to do when you finish, because it's a short career. So I was lucky enough to play till I was 34. A lot of lads don't, so and even less play past 34. So get something set up. That's my little bit of JJ wisdom. There you go. So I'm really looking forward to the Yorkshire versus Lancashire game. Can't wait to get out there and bump some heads again. I played about 3-4 years ago in a charity game and broke groins within about 2 seconds. So I'm hoping I last a litlittle bit longer. But JJB, what an absolute brilliant bloke for the game he's been. I used to hate playing against him because he was so good. He always had that bit about him that, he was not an arrogance about him, but he made it hard for you to play against him, which is sort of what all good players do. And what he's done in the game has been unreal, really, you know, and he's still doing it at his age. His body must be in bits, because mine is, and I played half the time he played. Hopefully I'll get out there for more than 2 minutes and get to tackle him one last time, because he'll be on the opposition. Yeah, I'm not holding big stead for me that day, but I'll give it all. All right, lads, well, it's been great to see you. I've got some air to cut, so if you lot can just jog on, that'd be great. Thanks.
Jonesy, Jordan James there, excited. He wore the Lancashire shirt through the whole feature. He said he's so proud and excited to play for Lancashire.
I can't remember because.
Mate, and there's a few young guns for Lancashire. Michael Platt, Tom Armstrong, Jordan James, they're all like just retired. Tom Armstrong's like not even 30 yet. Yeah. Played for Toronto last year. It's like they're going to be competitive.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good side. Still got some big names, haven't they? In Fire and Connolly,
Sculthorpe,
Betts, Sculthorpe, Longy, Glees. Longy and Glees are both in really good nick. So I'm thinking 28-12 Yorkshire.
28-12 Yorkshire. What do you reckon, Jonesy?
28-12.
Oh, Yorkshire, mate. It doesn't matter whether they win by a point or 10.
Yeah. Mate, I think Lancashire is going to be really close this year. I think Lancashire might pip them by one point.
How many times did you play for the real Yorkshire side?
I think we did 3. I think we did a one-off one year, and then we did a double 1 year. I think they should have kept it going. I think they should have stuck with it. I think you touched on it earlier. You know, when you played amateur rugby, you represented Yorkshire. That was the massive thing, playing against Lancashire or Humberside and all these other little fractions, Cumbria. So they should have just built on that and like use it as your Great Britain selection. Use that platform. Use that platform, and make it serious. If they don't want to play in that game, don't pick them at the end of the year. So you can get it serious that way.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a very good idea. I also think, I'm just going to add to this, that they've got to bring back. You'll be more in tune with this than anyone. The schoolboy stuff, so like Leeds teams, like all those teams that you could rep teams that you could play for all the way through. Like Richard Mathers touched on it with a great point. You weren't here last week, but he said that he believes that crop of Leeds lads that came through in your generation, because a lot of them had played together from literally 11-year-old, and he reckons the nucleus of that, I think they were like 6 at the same age, and like you were a bit older, Kev were a bit older, but in essence 6 came through, Bales, Chev, all together. But
I played with Kev with England schoolboys, and obviously played against him most years with Yorkshire Lancashire. But somebody in their infinite wisdom knocked a lot of the competitive representative rugby out of the window because it was seen as elitist. And making more elite games for elite players doesn't encourage more people in the masses to play it. So they're not competition. You're not even allowed to win until you're 11 years old.
Crazy.
So that's why it disappeared. And now, as you know, we've reaped the fruits of our labour.
So do we go back to it? And how do we go back to it?
I'd make it law. If I could make law, you'd be competing for everything, mate.
Yeah. Every kid in every...
Listen, I don't want to... It is elitist sometimes. I don't think there's anything wrong with aspiring to be the best version of yourself.
No, not at all.
But the other side to that as well is you've got to learn to lose.
Yeah.
I lost loads of stuff as a kid, and it's disastrous at the time, but you learn from it and you grow. You get out of your comfort zone.
100%.
Losing's a big part of life. You're going to lose at some point. So you might as well experience it and learn to deal with it when you're a kid.
Well, it's a great link, that, Jonesy, because everyone's got a chance to win right now with Bachelor's Mushy Peas. All you've got to do is tell us who is on the P machine, stroke Viner, stroke tractor, whatever you want to call it, who's driving this machine into part 2. We'll see you right here on Free Sports after the break. If you know who it is, go to rugbym.co.uk and enter now to win a fantastic prize thanks to Bachelor's Mushy Peas. Welcome back to Rugby AM here on Free Sports, starter part 2. Don't forget, if you know who was on the P machine at the end of part 1, get yourself to rugbyam.co.uk. Now is a second chance for some young person to win with Bachelors. They could win the old Bachelors Mushy Peas Rugby AM ball, and yeah, it could be yours. All you got to do is send your entries in. This week, Jonesy, we had more entries than any other week for Bachelors Amateur Tryout of the Week. So big thanks to all parents and coaches for sending them in. Right now, we've got 4 new entries. Check these out. Jonesy, you've seen the tries, both you and Gillett. Who are you picking?
I've just been running around laughing because the final try there, try number 4, Jack Taylor scores a wonderful try against Stanley, and for Stanley was my son playing in his first ever game of rugby league. And, I think Jimmy will slow it down for you here. His diving tackle here, like Superman, miles away.
Just like you.
Just like his dad. Hasn't got a clue, bless him. Well done, Jack Taylor. You're not the winner, unfortunately, pal, because we couldn't look past try number 1, which was Charlie Brown from Mayfield, underage. Wonderful try, Gilly.
Great try. I think he beat every player twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they weren't happy just beating them all once, bet them all twice. Unbelievable try.
Remember the name, Charlie Brown. Right, it's time for quickfire questions, Gilly. Are you ready?
Yes.
Quickfire. So, what is your most stupid purchase of all time?
I get absolutely ruined for this all the time. So when I made first grade and first time I had a little bit of money, I used to walk around White Rose and there was this ornamental tiger's head. It was like a real nice piece of fine art. And I used to walk past it and think, I like that. And then next time I go to White Rose, I walk past it again. I did this for about maybe 6 months. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to buy it. And it was just short of £1,000. This ornamental tiger's head.
How big is it?
It's about so big.
Have you got it still?
Yeah, it's like one of about 998 or something. No, not too many. But all my mates reckon my tiger's boz-eyed. I paid £1,000 for a boz-eyed tiger.
Have you got it? Have you got it?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it now?
It don't get. It's not allowed out.
Right.
It's like it's locked up in a cupboard. My missus won't let it be shown.
£1,000 tiger.
Gilly, what was your first car and how much did it cost?
First car was a Fiesta 1.1 bonus, 4 gears, and it was free because my dad gave me it. Cheers,
Nice.
Roger Gilmour. Thank you.
What was the last gig you went to and rate it out of 10?
Last gig, I've only ever been to one. I
Which
went
one?
to watch The Cause in Sheffield when I was about 21.
Any good?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think were it 3 girls and the brother.
Something like that.
Yes, obviously most of the people that cheering for the girls, they were like the front, so me and my mates cheered for Jimmy. We felt sorry for him. nobody cheered for Jimmy, so we thought we'd give him a bit of a rap.
Favourite holiday destination and why?
Anywhere warm for me, Jonesy, so we've got a bit of a liking for Cyprus at the minute.
Yep.
Obviously we only get to go away at the end of the year, October, so we've been going to Cyprus for the last couple of years.
Is it
nice
good?
place. Yeah, it's
I'm
beautiful.
looking at Cyprus.
Yeah, nice place.
Kids.
There's a few other places, maybe a bit more exotic, that I'd like to get to over the next few years, but at the minute, probably say Cyprus.
Outstanding. What's your go-to karaoke song? Are you a bit of a singer? Or?
Go-to, I ain't got one, mate. I do not sing.
Right.
I do not sing whatsoever.
I'm same.
So, yeah, I ain't got one for you there.
Right then, it's time now to go down south because a couple of weeks ago, there he is.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Looking towards next year with Rugby and with career after Rugby. But this came up, and I think Robert Elson spoke to me start of year, and I said, Well, last year we did the fishing thing. I says, and the clubs wouldn't let the players go. And he went, no, I really want players to go. So
well, I got in touch with him and I said, look, it's better coming from top down and be fair to some of the CEOs. They all dug into it, but self-preservation, it's team first. But we managed to get Josh Chandler to come along.
Yeah.
We invited Tommy Makinson, but he was incapacitated with St Helens and where they're at the minute. Obviously, business end at season. Wanted Sam Powell, but there was an England Knights meeting on the same day. I, being staff, said, can I have a day off? I've got an event coming up. So I ended up getting Tommy Briscoe's obviously just done his ACL and needed cheering up, and Don Crosby as well, obviously in rehab for his physical condition at the minute. So we went down to Guildford, Golden Valley it's called, where all the different teams invited down there by Matt Troom, Eddie and Barry, and obviously have a charity fishing competition. George Groves there, Steve Davis, Jimmy Bollard, Adrian Lewis, all kinds of sportsmen and women there, and we went down really representing the North, the Super League.
Yeah. Who were the only Northerners there?
There weren't many.
True Northerners.
I think there was, as far as sports people go, yes. But we wanted to go down there as Team Super League and get the win.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, because I don't want to spoil it, but we did well. We did well. Just have a look at this feature. Good morning, it's Jones here and we are west of London near Guildford for the Parkinson's UK charity fishing event. It's an extension of the PDC competition and Fishermania. All the stars are over there, David Seaman, Adrian Lewis, the darts players, the snooker players, the boxers, George Groves, and I've brought down a Super League team with me this year. Fortunate to do it last year in 2018, but this time I've brought a few teammates in Don Crosby and Tom Briscoe, and this legend beside me, big friend of rugby and keen fisherman, Josh Charnley. Josh, are you looking forward to today's event?
Been buzzing for a few weeks now, knowing that we're going to come down. So yeah, can't wait to get into this match.
And we've come down to win. We've downloaded the app, all right, Fishing Score. We're going to monitor all day the rest of the fishermen and women, sportsmen and women, all right, who are going to be competing here, really competitive. I can hear them all talking this. I've got to go throw 3 darts to find out which peg we're going to draw, but it's competitive today. We've come down to win, haven't we?
Yeah, we're not here to mess about. We're here to do the job and, do it for Super League.
How did you get into fishing? Who do you usually take with you?
My nan took me when I was young, and then I just fell in love with it, and then I didn't do it for years, and then I went with Sam Powell about 5 years ago, then got hooked again. So yeah, I've got all the gear, but I've not a clue how to fish.
We're all still learning. We tried to get Sam Powell, we tried to get Tommy Makinson. They're incapacitated at the minute, they couldn't make it down, but we're going to make the most of today's event. I can hear my name being called over there. I've got to go throw the darts, so I'm going to get off. See you soon.
Years and over 400 appearances for Leeds Rhinos. He has won pretty much everything in the sport. Would you welcome Jamie Jones Buchanan? Wait up, Jamie. Good luck, Jamie. Jamie Jones Buchanan scores 37.
Fishing is something so different, so relaxing, so takes you out of your normal path. And it doesn't matter what you do in life, is if you lead a competitive life or a busy life, there's something about sitting on a riverbank where you just forget everything and just, I mean, you know, I think fishing has made my life, changed my life, enhanced my life, because it's the only time you ever get to really turn off and relax and just get intense concentration and enjoyment. And, you know, it's a bonus if you catch anything as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a great cause as well. You know, it's Parkinson's disease, so yeah, fantastic charity. And so far, it's a great day. You know, there's not many big fish coming, but I've resorted to catching tiny little ones.
I'll be honest, we're next to the world champion group who are favourites and the fishery manager. Let's have it right. But we're doing all right. I've just had my first carp. Johnny Morgan's had 3 or 4 small fish. David Seaman yet to catch, but good angler, he's going to catch some fish, so we'll be all right.
I fish almost every day, you know. It does help when you've got a river in your garden, but yeah, this is something different though. It's not something that I'm used to. I'm used to trying to catch the big fish or big barbel, so it's a little bit different, but I might resort to that later on.
Well, I don't think you really know, but if you're chosen to be the one that the fish decides to go on, but it would be handy if you've got a level of understanding as well. That's why I've had Andy Bolton, he's been with me for the last couple of years, and we're waiting to hit lucky.
I've never touched a rod in my life, and based on how it's going so far, all I've got is a chicken. And do you know what's lovely is even though it's the competition, it's not really like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Tim's been helping me out and he's on another team. But it's so nice because everyone's just having a good time.
There is an old parable about bamboo sticks that sometimes it grows inches in the first 5 years, and then on the 6th it shoots up 30, 40 feet in the air, and that's been the parable of this fishing competition so far, because it started slow. But Mark Gillam, aka Gilly, has been... I was talking about Chinese parables, but I got rudely interrupted by a huge fish. Unfortunately, we lost it and it kicked off in this bush here, swelling about and darting, but we're on. Because Mark Guilford here, Gilly, aka Gilly, aka Kit Kat, because he's lost a finger, but he can still feed pellets, has fed the swim that well that we're swelling now and we're starting to get some real bites. I've had a couple of skimmers, I've had a nice 9-pound carp. I think Dom started to catch Tommy, and obviously Josh, the veteran over there, is starting to get there as well. So we'll update you at lunchtime. We've got 15 more minutes. See you soon. We're just on our way back to the pegs after the half-time break, and we're doing well, we're doing okay. Dom and Tom are in the top 10 in the individuals, and Team Super League are in 3rd place in the team event. I've had a nice 9-pounder, and the rest of the lads are chipping in with some nice fish too, so I fancy our chances. But Dom, how have you enjoyed today, mate?
You actually took my peg, didn't you? So I think that 9-pounder was belonging to me. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, as I said before, and it's a great event, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Right, we've got another 2 hours to make sure Team Super League finish top. Watch this. think we're into about the last hour now, and it's gone absolutely mad up at the Super League team end. I think Josh Charnley's turned it completely around. He's killing it. He's gone right up the leaderboard. As a team, we're in 3rd place, and I think we're in about on the £90 mark. The top teams are in about £126, so a good last half hour, last 40 minutes. We could edge it here, but we're on fire. We've caught some big fish. Watch this space. What a day, what a day, what a second half, probably the best 2 hours of fishing that I've ever had. I'm really excited about going out there because the last fish I caught was massive and it might be right up there. I don't want to talk about me, but it might be up there with the top fish contenders. Josh, you lost some monsters though. Talk me through it, mate, because it must be tough. You lost some big ones, didn't you?
Yeah, I lost 3 double figure fish. Every time the cormorant come behind me, I lost them, so yeah, he was my bogey man.
Nightmare. There could have been a 20-pounder in there as well. Easy. Tommy, consistent all day. Have you enjoyed yourself, mate? Worth it?
Oh, definitely, yeah, been brilliant. Had a really good day, caught some brilliant fish. Like Josh, last take I had, I lost it, double figures, but it's one of them things, isn't it?
Certainly is. We've all got some goodies. Dom's really excited because he's new to fishing. He's got himself a bucket. He's got a bucket. Have you enjoyed yourself, Paul? Because it's your first day, and you said earlier that you're having a fantastic day. How did it finish for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. Similar to the other guys, I lost one, but I caught a little bream. So, but I'm happy. I'm happy. But I think you dragged us through, didn't you, with the last fish? I know he's dying to say it, so he brought us through.
Mate, I'm really excited. We're going to go check the results. Well, I think we've done Super League proud. We've come down as Team Super League. I think we've done us proud. After we go get our just desserts, we're going to head back up north where the sun shines even brighter. But it's been a good day. We've all enjoyed it. Hope you can check out this venue yourself one day. See you soon.
And now on to the results. We begin with the Target Darts Sports Stars Fishing Singles Championship. In 3rd place with a total catch weight of 65.08 pounds from Team Super League, Josh Charnley.
Josh, enjoy your injury.
In 2nd place with a total catch weight of 81.05 pounds from Team Target, Adrian Lewis. And your winner with a total catch weight of 82.02 pounds, collecting the trophy and the title of 2019 Target Darts Sports Stars Fishing Singles Champion from Team Dalroad, Jimmy Buller!
Yes! Well, you are doing it! Get in there! I told you, didn't I? Oh, legend, lads. What a gig. I've done some gigs. Oh, what a blind. Where's my trophy? Get in there!
And now for the Target Darts Sports Stars Fishing Team Championship. This has been very, very hard fought. In third place with a total catch weight of 170.09 pounds, it was Team Target. In second place with a total catch weight of 177 pounds, 0.14, is Team Matru. And your winners with a total catch weight of 179.1 pounds. The team is made up of manager Julian Cundiff.
Is it?
Dom Crosby, Josh Charlie, Tom Briscoe, and the captain, Jamie Jones Buchanan, the 2019 Target Darts Sports Stars Fishing Team Champions, Team Ladies and gentlemen, what a day fishing. Let's hear it one more time. The 2019 Target Darts Sports Stars Fishing Team Champions, Team Super League!
We've got Jimmy Bullard carrying on it background because he won the most weight for the day, but our Super League man himself, Josh Charnley, nearly got there, finishing in third. Outstanding. As a team, can you believe we've only gone and won it? We've come down south 4 hours, Team Super League, and we smashed it at Golden Valley. Get that down here. How
We've taken it away.
Welcome to Rugby AM.
Jonesy, winners are grinners. How did it feel?
Yeah, it was
them monsters.
It was like there's all Southerners there, right? And there's some big time Charlies there when it comes to sportsmen and women. It's really good. The look after it. Well, Jimmy Bullard was one where every time he caught a fish, you could hear him. You knew him. You knew he just carries along the pond as well, doesn't it? And afterwards, he was fantastic. Obviously, does Soccer AM, and we sat down and chatted with him for a while. They're all brilliant. Every single character, sportsman and woman that's there, are brilliant. And we had a right good chat. But I think we were outsiders, and nobody expected us to win. And Josh Charnley was about 31st out of 32 at half time, I believe. And they've only got 2 hours left, so we think that's pretty much written off. I think we were in about 6th position as a team. And we'd been feeding all the first half. And when we had his lunch, all big fish must have come in. And we were like catching pigs, little 10-pounders out at margins and out on feeder every time. All 4 of us are like this, pulling big carp.
So you're in the same peg?
Went back to the same peg. And the biggest one, I caught a 17-pounder. I think
that
it was
biggest
one up there on the pole. And the elastic comes out. It was like chewing gum, mate. It was like going forever. I think it's going to stop. Played it really gently, so I thought it might win us this might win us the game. And we won by less than 2 ounce, mate.
Wow.
Less than 2 ounce, which is like less than this, mate. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the look on Barry Earn's face when we've gone up like that. Northern monkey! Yes!
Gilly, last thing, mate, if you could just put your moniker on the desk, that'd be amazing. Find a little space. We'll see you this weekend for a Challenge Cup special on stage at the Box Park Arena. So if you've got a ticket for the game, make sure you're coming down to Wembley. Get to the Box Park Arena, which is just on Wembley Way. So I think it holds 6,000, so there'll be first come, first serve. It's exclusive to people with a ticket for the cup final before 3 p.m. Get yourself down there. We're on stage from 11 a.m. in the morning. Few beers, plenty of laughs, loads of good content. Come and check us out. We'll see you this weekend. We'll see you next week for War of the Roses.